Hi guys, welcome to ToK today. My name's Daniel and I'm here to help you. Okay, today we're going to look at how to plan your ToK essay. Whatever else we know in life, planning is an important thing, and in the ToK essay, planning is super important. Planning your essay means that you're going to put in the foundations for that essay to make it easier to write, and most importantly, to make you very, very successful in the essay. I'm going to give you the key tips for how to plan a great essay, which will make it less stressful and more successful for you. Let's get into it.
Get on with it, Daniel.
Okay, so the first thing that's really important when you're going to plan your essay is to start early. Please, please, please start early. I just can't emphasize this enough. You need time to plan this essay, yeah? You really need time to make sure that you have enough space, enough time to think deeply about the concept and to develop your arguments and to develop the essay in a way that's going to get you those good marks. So you might ask, well, how much time do I need, Mr. Daniel? I've always worked in schools that take the exams in May, all right? And the essay titles come out in September. So we start our essays in September, we start the process. The draft deadline is always in the middle of December, second week of December. So there's about 3 months for the students to plan and write their essays. So that's how much time you need, is about 3 months, yeah? Please don't try to do it in 3 days at the end. Just don't. You can't do it in 3 days at the end. So number one tip is to start early. Next tip, on my website, I've got this detailed sort of process, a 6-step process that you could go through to plan and deliver a successful ToK essay. If you follow that step by step, then I virtually guarantee that you will have a good essay and you will get a good mark. I've used that structure with hundreds and hundreds of students and it's always worked. Little tip, none of my students have ever failed ToK. I've never had a student who's got a grade E in ToK. They've always done better than that. So it is a structure which helps, which works.
It's getting clearer now, Daniel.
So the first thing in that structure is you need to spend some time thinking and working on the question yourself at the beginning. You shouldn't get sort of polluted by other people's ideas at the beginning. You need to build a foundation of your own understanding before you move on to getting other people's views. Work out what you think of the essay first, and that's like your foundation at the bottom of your, at the core of your understanding of the essay. That will be important later on, because if you try to write an essay based on other people's views, then you'll quickly become unstuck. So it's important to form your own understanding early on in the process. The first stage is to set up your process for writing the essay. So this is like putting it into your schedule so that you make sure that you have enough time each week to do it. Now, this is the great thing about starting early, is if it's in your schedule each week over a period of 2 or 3 months, then you only have to do a little bit each week to deliver that essay at the end of the course. So you won't have to be doing these sort of mammoth sort of 12-hour, 14-hour writing sessions right at the end, because you're just doing maybe half an hour a week on it. And by the end of that 3 months, you're going to have a great essay ready to deliver at the draft deadline. The third stage in this is to start to work with other students, because now you've got your own ideas about what the essay means. You can start to bring in ideas from other students and collaborate with peers who are writing the same essay question as you. Moving on quickly to the fourth stage, which is actually writing your plan and showing it to your teacher. The fifth stage is then writing the essay and submitting the draft. And the sixth stage is acting on the advice that your teacher gives you from the draft. Treat that draft deadline like a real final deadline. Have a fully finished and polished essay when you hand in the draft. Now there's lots more detail to each of those stages, and I've got that detail on my website on ToKtoday.com, and I'll put the link to that in the video description below. So if you want more help on how to plan and structure your ToK essay, then go down to that link. Now, if you want really good help on the structure of the essay, how to structure the essay with lots of different diagrams, different ways to structure it, then you can get the ebook, which is on my website on ToKtoday.com, and that will give you some good help on that. Some common things that I see. Essays which haven't been properly planned, it's impossible for them to be successful. You've got to put in a good plan if you want the essay to be successful. Essays where the plan doesn't fully make sense. So a student might address one clause of the prescribed title in the first part of the essay, and then they address a different clause in the second part of the essay. And what they haven't done is they haven't evaluated either clause. The essay will pass, but it will give them quite a low pass, because what you need to have that analysis and evaluation to get the higher marks. Now, that sort of mistake or that problem would have been identified by their ToK teacher if they'd shown the ToK teacher a plan before they started writing. So that sort of problem is just a very simple thing of writing the plan and showing it to the teacher in advance of writing. Get it right before you write. Cheesy. Some of the other things that I see are essays which sort of taper off towards the end. So there's a great start and then they just sort of peter out. You go from this first two paragraphs, which are in maybe the 9 to 10 band or the 7 to 8 band, and then it starts to go down into the 1 to 2, 3 to 4 type bands. And what's happened here is either there wasn't a plan in place, or the students had to write the introduction and they wrote a really great introduction and gave that to their teacher, and then they never went back to the essay and they just had to sort of like pile something out at the last minute. And all of that can be mitigated, all of that can be prevented by starting early and putting a good plan in place and communicating frequently with your teacher. Your teacher is your best friend. Okay guys, I hope that you found that useful. If you did, then please hit like, and if you want to hear more of this ToK advice, then hit subscribe and go to the website ToKtoday.com. All I'll do for now is I'll wish you a wonderful day of DP learning. Stay ToKtastic, friends. Goodbye. I'm gone.